हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज मैं आपके सामने ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री के अल्कोहल फिनॉल ईथर का एक नया वीडियो लेकर के आया हूँ। विलियमसन ईथर सिंथेसिस। विलियमसन ईथर सिंथेसिस से एक क्वेश्चन 2 या 3 नंबर के अक्सर करके आते हैं, और चूंकि इसमें काफ़ी एक्सेप्शंस हैं तो और काफ़ी ऐसी ट्रिक्स हैं जो मैं बताऊंगा आपको, जिससे आप विलियमसन ईथर सिंथेसिस के बारे में जानकारी ले सकते हैं। इससे 2 नंबर या 3 नंबर के बोर्ड का एक क्वेश्चन पक्का आता है। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं वीडियो। विलियमसन ईथर सिंथेसिस, विलियमसन मेथड के द्वारा ईथर की सिंथेसिस कैसे करते हैं। तो आइए स्टार्ट करते हैं। विलियमसन ईथर सिंथेसिस, इट इज़ द मेथड फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सिमेट्रिकल एंड अनसिमेट्रिकल ईथर्स। सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ कि विलियमसन ईथर्स मेथड इज़ द प्रिपरेशन मेथड ऑफ सिमेट्रिकल एंड अनसिमेट्रिकल ईथर। ये सिमेट्रिकल अनसिमेट्रिकल ईथर को प्रिपेयर करने के लिए यूज होता है। व्हेन एल्काइल हैलाइड इज ट्रीटेड विद सुटेबल सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड, जब कोई एल्काइल हैलाइड को सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड से ट्रीट किया जाता है। सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड कैसे बनेगा? किसी भी अल्कोहल में अगर सोडियम मेटल डाल दें तो सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड कंपाउंड बन जाता है। The reaction involved the SN2 attack of an alkoxide ion on primary alkyl halide। तो विलियमसन सिंथेसिस में क्या होता है कि किसी एल्काइल हैलाइड की रिएक्शन सोडियम एल्कोक्साइड से कराई जाती है। उसके अंदर क्या होता है? द रिएक्शन इन्वॉल्व द SN2 अटैक। मतलब इस विलियमसन सिंथेसिस में SN2 अटैक होता है किसके ऊपर? ऑफ एल्कोक्साइड आयन। एल्कोक्साइड आयन का अटैक होता है ऑन द प्राइमरी एल्काइल हैलाइड। प्राइमरी एल्काइल हैलाइड के लिए के ऊपर एल्कोक्साइड आयन का अटैक होता है। तो आइए देखिए इसको एक रिएक्शन की मदद से देखते हैं कैसे होगा। तो ये देखिए, ये एल्कोक्साइड आयन है। जर्नल इक्वेशन मैंने लिखी RO माइनस, और ये है एल्काइल हैलाइड। और कौन सा अटैक होगा? SN2 अटैक होगा। ठीक है, तो जब SN2 अटैक होगा तो X माइनस यहाँ से रिलीज हो जाएगा, और यहाँ देखिए अनसिमेट्रिकल ईथर बन जाएगा। तो आइए अब इसका एक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं। तो मैंने एग्जाम्पल लिया हुआ द सोडियम इथॉक्साइड CH3CH2ONA एंड ट्रीटेड विथ CH3CH2Br। CH3CH2ONA is sodium ethoxide treated with ethyl bromide at 300 Kelvin. As we have already discussed that sodium alkoxide ion occur SN2 attack on the primary alkyl halide. So the NaBr is released out and form CH3 CH2O CH2 CH3. NaBr released out. The another example is that the sodium phenoxide treated with ethyl iodide through the SN2 attack. In that case, the Na and I released out because it is having the minus charge and it is having the plus charge. The NaI is released and form the phenyl ethyl ether. This one is the phenyl, this one is the ethyl and ether. So these are the two examples by we can explain the how the unsymmetrical ether or symmetrical ether prepared with the help of Williamson ether synthesis. Now, very important point is here that there are some limitations of Williamson synthesis, which these limitation always comes in the form of question in your board examination, CBSE and other board examination. So now moving on to the limitation of Williamson ether synthesis, which is very important. First limitation is that alkyl halide should be primary because Williamson synthesis occurs by the SN2 mechanism. Means in case of Williamson synthesis, alkyl halide which is used is always should be primary because reaction proceed through the SN2 mechanism. Always remember that. The alkoxide ion may be either primary, secondary or tertiary. Means the CO bond having either primary, secondary and tertiary, either 3 sp3 carbon, either 2 sp3 carbon, either use 1 sp3 carbon toward the CO bond. That doesn't matter. Means alkoxide ion may be either primary, secondary or tertiary. That doesn't matter. For secondary and tertiary alkyl halide, if you use secondary and tertiary alkyl halide, then elimination reaction competes over the substitution reaction. If we use the secondary and tertiary alkyl halide in Williamson synthesis, then elimination reaction compete over the substitution reaction. This one is the also limitation. While the last limitation is that when we use only the tertiary alkyl halide, when we use only tertiary alkyl halide, alkene is the only product. When we use the tertiary alkyl halide, then alkene is the only product and no ether is formed. This one is the very important point. When we use the tertiary alkyl halide, no ether is formed and alkene is formed as a major product because elimination reaction competes over the substitution reaction. So these are the limitations of the Williamson ether synthesis. Now moving on, I am going to explain one by one cases of the Williamson in the ether synthesis. First case is that when we use the tertiary sodium butoxide ion, this one is the tertiary sodium butoxide ion, 1, 2, 3 and 4, tertiary sodium butoxide ion. A tertiary sodium butoxide treated with primary alkyl halide CH3CH2Br, and it is move on to the SN2 mechanism. So NaBr released out and this tertiary butoxide ion attack on the ethyl carbonium ion via SN2 mechanism, and it formed the tertiary butyl ether. It formed the tertiary butyl ether. Means tertiary butyl preparation of tertiary butyl ether is the proper method when we use the tertiary sodium butoxide and treated with primary alkyl halide. Now moving on that, when we use the tertiary alkyl halide, what will happen? Now we will discuss in a next case, in case number second, when we use the tertiary alkyl halide with sodium ethoxide ion or the sodium ethoxide. So in case second, as you see that we have taken out the tertiary alkyl halide, tertiary butyl bromide treated with sodium ethoxide. So NaBr is released out via this reaction. When NaBr is released out, it is very important that the ethoxide ion C2H5O minus is, as you see that this one is the nucleophile and this one is the bulkier nucleophile. As a bulkier nucleophile, C2H5 minus is behave like a base, and base have very high susceptibility to accept a proton. So when we released out NaBr, then the tertiary carbonium ion which is formed, it release a proton to form combined with sodium to combine with ethoxide ion and form the alcohol. Means that when we NaBr is released, then the ethoxide ion as a bulkier nucleophile act as a base and abstract a proton. When alkyl halide releases a proton, then a double bond is developed here. Means double bond is developed here and form the alkene. Means the product is the 2-methylpropene, and this one is the C2H5OH and NaBr. When we means that when we taken out the tertiary alkyl halide treated with sodium ethoxide, then in that case substitution reaction elimination reaction compete over the substitution reaction. Why elimination reaction compete the substitution reaction? Because C2H5O minus is behaves like a base and they abstract a proton from the tertiary butyl bromide. That's why elimination reaction compete over the substitution reaction, and alkene is the major product. This one is the opposite case of the first one. What the reason behind that? What will happen in that case? The reason is that because alkoxide ion is not a nucleophile, it is also behaves like a base, and base abstract a proton from the alkyl halide. Base abstract a proton from the alkyl halide, leading to the elimination reaction. In case of tertiary alkyl halide, elimination reaction will dominate over the substitution reaction. That's why the alkene is the major product. No ether is formed. Now moving on to the case third. This one is also very important. If we use the secondary alkyl halide, this one is the tertiary alkyl halide. When we use the secondary alkyl halide, what will happen? When we use the secondary alkyl halide in Williamson ether synthesis with the reaction with sodium ethoxide, if you see that when NaBr is released out, then the alkyl halide which is formed, this one is that the alkyl halide is formed, it shows elimination reaction as well as the substitution reaction, but major product moving on to the elimination process, not the substitution process. If you see that this alkyl halide is formed, means that when the NaBr is released out, it forms the secondary carbocation. The secondary carbocation is not as much bulkier as the tertiary carbonium ion. Means that secondary alkyl halide is not bulkier as like the tertiary alkyl halide. So just because of the secondary alkyl halide having the moderate 2CH3 bulkier group, it move on to the major product as a elimination reaction forming the alkene, and a very small quantity of substitution reaction also takes place. If you see in this case that when we treated out the secondary alkyl halide with sodium ethoxide, so 78% major product is the propene. Just because of that, the sodium ethoxide, when we sodium is released, ethoxide is a bulkier nucleophile and behaves as a base, and base abstracted a proton from the CH3. That's why in this place we got a double bond and forming propene as the major product. But the bulkiness is moderate, that's why in some quantity the reaction proceed through the substitution reaction also, and here the product is 2-ethoxypropane, because NaBr is released out and this alkyl halide attack to the ethoxide ion, means this C2H5 group combined with this particular carbon and forming the 2-ethoxypropane. But important thing is that the major product is the propene, because the elimination reaction is dominant over the substitution reaction. But bulkiness is moderate, that's why in some quantity the substitution reaction takes place and forming the 2-ethoxypropane. So this one is the second. And the third case, what we have get here, that in case of tertiary alkyl halide, then alkene is the major product. When we use the secondary alkyl halide with sodium ethoxide, then alkene as well as the ether is formed, but alkene is the major product because elimination reaction is dominant over the substitution reaction. But in some quantity the ether is also formed via the substitution reaction, because alkyl halide having the moderate steric hindrance, 2CH3 group is there, that's why the moderate steric hindrance is there. So both the cases are very important, which always come in your board examination. Now moving on to the special condition, when we discuss about the aryl ether or the phenolic ether. Means aryl ether means ether having the aryl group or the phenyl group. So what are the conditions are there, special conditions are there. Alkyl aryl ether is easily prepared by using the sodium phenoxide and alkyl halide. By preparation of alkyl aryl ether is the better method when we use the sodium phenoxide. How sodium phenoxide is formed? Sodium phenoxide is formed when we put some sodium in a phenol, then sodium phenoxide is formed and hydrogen gas is released. When it is treated with methyl bromide, then NaBr is released out and form the methoxybenzene. NaBr is released out and form the methoxybenzene. This one is the alkyl aryl ether. Alkyl aryl ether. The case not allowed means in case of alkyl aryl ether, what are the cases are not allowed? This one is very important cases which always come in your board examination. When we take out the bromobenzene with sodium methoxide ion, when we taken out the bromobenzene with sodium methoxide, then no reaction takes place. Means in spite of sodium phenoxide, we use the aryl halide, then the no reaction takes place. Why there is no reaction takes place? Because in case of bromine, there is a LP and pi conjugation, that is resonance takes place between the C and Br, and we get the double bond. There is a double bond between the C and Br of the benzene ring, and just because of double bond, just because of sp2 hybridization, this CBr bond is strong, and in that case nucleophilic substitution reaction is not possible. Means the nucleophile is not able to substitute the Br. That's why there is no reaction takes place when aryl halide treated with sodium methoxide ion. The another case is that when sodium phenoxide is treated with the bromobenzene, not the alkyl halide. When it is treated with aryl halide, then in that case also no reaction takes place. When moving on to the preparation of diphenyl ether, then diphenyl ether is not prepared by the sodium phenoxide and bromobenzene. The same reason is here, that just because of LP pi conjugation or just because of the resonance between the C and Br of the this benzene ring, or the you can say the phenyl ring, just because of double bond or sp2 hybridization or stronger bond, nucleophilic substitution reaction is not possible. So the reaction of bromobenzene with sodium methoxide, it is not appropriate method for the preparation of ether, and reaction of sodium phenoxide with bromobenzene is also not appropriate method for the preparation of ether, that is diphenyl ether. And what are the reason behind that? The reason is that the aryl halide shows double bond or the strong bond and less reactive. Just because of double bond, it is less reactive toward the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Means aryl halide is not used for the preparation of alkyl aryl ether, just because of that there is a resonance takes place between the C and Br, or the benzene ring or the phenyl ring, you can say phenyl ring and bromine, just because of the strong bond in there, and nucleophilic substitution reaction is not possible. That's why these two method is not appropriate method for the preparation of alkyl aryl ether. Only we can use the sodium phenoxide, and only we use the alkyl halide. We cannot use the aryl halide for the preparation of alkyl aryl ether. Always remember that. So your concept will clear in the examination. So it is all about the preparation of Williamson ether synthesis. These are the cases, conditions, exceptions are there. So अगर आप लोग को मेरा वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो मेरे चैनल को लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें. प्लीज़ मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें. और ये बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन के हिसाब से बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. जेई मेंस और नीट में भी इससे क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं. तो इसको आप लोग वीडियो को पढ़ें, समझें और इसका फ़ायदा उठाएं, ताकि आपके बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन में इस वीडियो के द्वारा अगर क्वेश्चंस आता है तो आपको मदद मिले. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर seeing this video. Thank you.